Coming up on Network Africa, the 2024 summit of the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation officially kicks off in Beijing, aimed at strengthening ties between China and Africa. Egyptian president meets with Turkish counterpart Tayyip Erdogan in Ankara, the first presidential visit in 12 years. Plus, Ugandan Olympian Rebecca Cheptegei succumbs to burn injuries days after being set on fire by ex-boyfriend. Thank you so much for joining us at this time. Welcome to the program. I'm Layo Olarinde. The 2024 summit of the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation has kicked off in Beijing, bringing together African leaders for a summit aimed at strengthening ties. Well, during the three-day summit, leaders of African countries will discuss cooperation over the next few years on areas including agriculture, security, and industrialization. At the opening ceremony, Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu commended the flourishing economic partnership between Africa and China, which has seen trade between the two regions reaching an estimated $280 billion. President Tinubu said despite global challenges, the partnership has remained firm. He also emphasized the importance of maintaining the momentum in order to deepen the partnership for the mutual benefit of both regions.
A landmark of our relationship came in year 2000 with the establishment of the FOCA. This platform has been pivotal in strengthening our economic ties and reaffirming our commitment to mutual progress. Despite the global challenges we face, whether the economic or geographical, our partnership has stood firm, resolute, and offering a powerful example of what can be achieved through respect for sovereignty and non-interference. One of the highest highlights of this collaboration has been the flourishing economic partnership. Trade between Africa and China has grown exponentially, reaching an estimated $280 billion US. These impressive figures speak volumes about the strength of our economic relationship and expanding integration of our market. I say, China's Belt and Road Initiative, align with the Africans' own infrastructure goals under African Continental Free Trade Agreement.
Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi is on an official visit to Turkey for meetings with his Turkish counterpart, Recep Tayyip Erdogan. Now, this is the first official visit to Turkey by an Egyptian president in 12 years, and it comes amid a warming of relations between the two regional powers. In February, President Erdogan made his first visit to Egypt in more than a decade after the two countries agreed to mend ties and reappoint ambassadors. The ties between Cairo and Ankara collapsed in 2013 after President el-Sisi, who was then army chief of Egypt, led the ouster of democratically elected Islamist President Mohamed Morsi amid mass protests against his divisive first year in power. Morsi was a top figure in the Muslim Brotherhood organization, which had long been backed by Turkey. Well, in this second summit between both leaders, since they began mending relations, they will reportedly sign around 20 agreements that focus on boosting cooperation on energy, defense, tourism, health, culture, and education. Well, we brought you this story earlier this week about a Ugandan athlete who was allegedly set on fire by her ex-boyfriend. Unfortunately, Rebecca Cheptegei has succumbed to her burns while dying in hospital in Nairobi, Kenya. The 33-year-old marathon runner who competed in the recent Paris Olympics suffered extensive burns after Sunday's attack. The authorities in northwest Kenya, where Cheptegei lived and trained, said she was targeted after returning home from church with her two daughters. A report filed by a local administrator alleged the athlete and her ex-partner had been wrangling over a piece of land. Well, police say an investigation is underway. Let's get more on this. Joining us now is Cyrus Ombati, Kenyan journalist in Nairobi. Hello, Cyrus. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much for me the show.
It was such a sad ending we see now for Rebecca Cheptegei. I'm sure many people would have hoped, she came out of this alive. How is the athlete world, reacting to this?
Actually, since the morning when the news broke out that she had passed on and that the hospital where she was admitted, everyone, there was so much reaction, negative reaction towards the issue from the government officials in Kenya here. The Ugandan officials also issued a statement condemning the death, calling for thorough investigation into the matter. It's outrage to say the little because no one expected that she could die in such a way because she was a strong athlete that everyone had hope that she will make it by kind of more in this area.
So what do we know about the alleged attacker, the ex-boyfriend? We understand that he was also admitted to hospital suffering from burns as well.
Yeah, the man is also in hospital. That right now police are saying is a murder suspect, an arson and a murder. And we understand that the man had actually started differing with the woman, the athlete, because of a piece of land which they were arguing over in the same area where Cheptegei had bought. It's actually like Cheptegei's money with that bought the piece of land. Because the area is in Kenya, but it's neighboring Uganda. It's near Ugandan border. So there was a dispute over a piece of land which both owned. And this Sunday, when they came from church, the kind of quarrel went further and it became now violent and part as it turned out to be. The man itself is a Kenyan and he is also he suffered much burn. He's in the hospital. The police are saying that he's a suspect for this at this moment, and we hope that he makes it through or he recovers so that he can also face charges in court as they are planning to.
Well, talking about facing charges, the police say that an investigation is underway. Talk to us what we can expect from this and, the consequences of this action if he's eventually found guilty.
Well, probably it's a murder probe. It's a murder charge that is likely to face, and then arson because he burnt the girl and he burnt the household where they were staying together. Murder is a serious charge here in Kenya and in other parts of the world. I say no, because he may be jailed for life in that case. Also, arson may carry up to 20 years. So he's staring at a long sentence in jail, and given that he's burnt also and he's suffering so much burns, almost 20% as they are saying, and given his age more than 30 years, the doctors hope that he'll pull through.
All right then. Oh, Rebecca was a Ugandan athlete. Have we heard from authorities in the neighboring country?
Yeah, the Ugandan athletics agency issued a statement in the morning condemning mourning the death and also calling for further and thorough investigation into the issue. Many more athletes are kind of sending the condolences from Uganda itself and locally. Uganda, the fact that the matter is still under investigation, so we believe that in the both governments are talking on the issue and they are solving them. They kind of agreeing on the way forward. That's the investigation, and then we plan or maybe burial of the lady and other plans ahead.
All right, Cyrus. I mean, attacks on women in Kenya seem to be on the rise. This is not the first of its kind. We've seen Agnes Tirop that was killed by her husband in 2021, and Damaris Mutua killed by a boyfriend as well, in 2022. We also have the issue of that serial killer who escaped police custody and, is still on the loose. What are authorities really doing to nip this in the bud?
There's a debate currently about the issue of femicide in the Kenya because many believe feel that women are being targeted, and especially in the athletics world now, with what's happening, Europe and then there's Mutua and now this Septegei. There's a debate and people are trying to say that there's need for criminalizing the whole issue of the femicide. That may take a time to kind of come up with such a law because the matter has to go to parliament for it to be debated and approved. But then there's a general feeling that women are weak, kind of, and susceptible to be killed. So there's need for stringent measures to kind of tame the crime itself targeting women. It's an issue of concern actually among men here.
All right then, Sarah Sombati, Kenyan journalist, thank you so much.
Thank you for coming to the show.
Well, families in the Democratic Republic of Congo are demanding justice for their loved ones that died in Monday's failed prison escape in Kinshasa. Now, these relatives are asking for answers from the government in what authorities called an attempted jailbreak from Congo's biggest Makala Central Prison. Officials say 129 people died, including some who were shot by guards and soldiers, and others who died in a stampede trying to escape. However, rights groups and activists in the country are accusing the government of using excessive force and also covering up the true death toll. They have also denounced what they say are inhumane conditions in the nation's overcrowded penitentiaries, calling for an independent investigation. On Monday's tragedy underscored the overcrowding and dire living conditions in Congo's prison. According to Amnesty International, Makala, which is Congo's largest prison with a capacity of 1,500 people, holds over 12,000 inmates. Most of them are awaiting trial. In the meantime, the United Nations peacekeeping force in the DRC, MONUSCO, has expressed concern by the developments at the prison in the capital city in Kinshasa. UN spokesperson Stephen Dujarric says MONUSCO welcomes the opening of an inquiry by the government and is calling on the government to bring justice to those responsible for crimes and human rights violations.
In the Democratic Republic of Congo, our human rights colleagues from the peacekeeping mission there tell us they're concerned by developments at a prison in the capital city of Kinshasa. According to Congolese authorities, during an escape attempt earlier this week, dozens of inmates were killed, including by bullets and by being trampled. Our colleagues say that prior to these events, more than 15,000 people were held at this prison, which was built to accommodate only 1,500 inmates. They welcome the opening of an inquiry by the authorities and call on them to bring to justice those responsible for crimes and human rights violations. As part of its mandate, the UN Human Rights Office in the Democratic Republic of Congo stands ready to provide assistance if so requested by national judicial authorities.
Well, we're still in the DRC. The country is set to receive its first Mpox vaccine shipment, and that's according to the World Health Organization. WHO Chief Tedros Ghebreyesus confirmed the doses that are manufactured by Bavarian Nordic and donated by the European Union are due to arrive on Thursday and a second shipment on Saturday. Now, as the Mpox outbreak continues to spread in the eastern region, many patients are anxiously awaiting the vaccines. The country has recorded over 18,000 suspected cases with 629 fatalities. The Central African country of about 100 million people currently stands as the epicenter of the Mpox outbreak. Welcome back to the program. The United Nations mission in South Sudan recently supported the deployment of a general court-martial in Maridi, Western Equatoria, to promote justice for crimes committed by military officers serving with the South Sudan People's Defense Forces. Now, to help promote justice and accountability among the military, the mission provided technical and financial support to the deployment of a general court-martial. At the end of the process, a one-day event was held to bring the military together with more than 50 representatives from local authorities, communities, and civil society to build trust and confidence with the community.
SSPDF General Headquarters commitment to promoting accountability. All the people working under the SSPDF, if they are committed, we are ready to bring them for accountability, including conflict-related sexual violence against women, girls, and murder committed by military personnel to bring justice to people of Meridi.
We can all discuss our common problems, seek common solutions, while committing ourselves to durable and sustainable peace. As the UN mission, we are committed in maintaining and sustaining durable peace, not only in Western Equatoria, not only in Mariti, but in the whole of South Sudan.
Here in Lagos State, the government says it will commence removal of all structures built on drainage paths in Ojo area of the state. The Lagos State Commissioner for Environment and Water Resources, Mr. Tokunbo Wahab, made this comment when he visited the local government area. He says there is no going back on enforcement and restoration of all drainage right-of-ways across the state.
This plank bridge is the only access point that leads to Apulio Kyodo community in the Ojo area of Lagos, where the State Commissioner for the Environment and Water Resources, Tokunbo Wahab, and other senior officials from the ministry are here to see the structures built along the drainage channel. Next point is Alabarago Primary Channel System 40B, also within Ojo area, where contravention of building guidelines is obvious. The team also moves to Alaba International Market, and it was observed that some traders have built on the canal path, narrowing Primary Channel System 40 just to make daily income. And government insists that the drainage setback must be restored to prevent flooding in Alaba.
He says 7. If it's 7, the 7 will be across board, so everybody will know we are taking 7 on this particular channel. And it will be in writing. In writing for posterity's sake. And there will be a trail to that. I don't have to be there tomorrow.
Do you understand?
Yes, sir. Somebody I want to say something. Suggested that they are giving us this position in writing.
We are having a problem of flood whenever it rains here. I believe if they go by what you have just said, the problem of flood will be a thing of the past. The only thing is that it is going to inflict some pains on us. But all the same, what we are saying is that
Still within Ojo local government area, the primary channel that leads to Alaba Market has been turned to a refuse dump. The commissioner says all structures obstructing free flow of drainage channels will not be spared.
You can't encroach on a public infrastructure like a collector, a channel, be it primary, be it secondary, and you think the government will not come for you someday. The one that is chassis, you saw the man had built a massive mansion on inside the channel. And these are things that we try to discourage. We've done sensitization, we've reached out to them, we've done advocacy. We won't stop the advocacy, but we also need to enforce. But there is serve notices. They will start the implementation from tomorrow.
The Lagos State government urges developers and homeowners to desist from encroaching on drainage right-of-way, leave a 15-meter drainage setback when constructing, or face the consequences.
South Africa is celebrating Heritage Month with the Reconceptualization Art Exhibition, and this is featuring artists from South Africa, Botswana, Ghana, and Zimbabwe. Well, those behind the event say it does not only showcase the rich artistic traditions of the continent, but also provides a unique lens into broader economic and cultural impacts of the art industry. Well, our South African correspondent, Innocent Samosa, gives us this report.
This month, South Africa's Colour of Africa is celebrating Heritage Month with its reconceptualization art exhibition. The organizer, Ivy Ratlamfu, says it is more than just a showcase of artistic talent, but a significant culture and economic phenomenon.
The show is called Colors of Africa, Reconceptualized. It's a traveling exhibition. So it started off in Zimbabwe, whereby it really looks into encapsulating not only just Zimbabwean artists in celebrating really the color of life, but neighboring countries like Mozambican artists, Nigerian, Ghanaian.
Deputy Dean at the Chinhoyi University of Technology in Zimbabwe, Julius Chengentai, says this will influence local economies by boosting tourism, creating jobs, and driving spending in surrounding areas.
We should now go beyond theory and be into the practical work and produce, innovate, and then industrialize. So even at university, this is like a publication. Instead of writing a journal paper, I'm showing that what I'm teaching is what I'm doing.
Art is increasingly being seen not just as a cultural asset, but as a financial one. Collectors and investors alike are treating artworks as valuable assets that can appreciate over time.
The digital space actually also helps to better our work in a way. I think it also challenges us also to think creatively and to also enhance our work as well.
Since I started understanding the artwork by traveling to most of the West African countries. So I use the ECOWAS community, which is where I'm coming from as West Africa. So I started traveling to Nigeria, Togo, Benin.
Digital technology is also playing a transformative role in the art world. From virtual galleries to online auctions, technology is changing how art is brought, sold, and also experienced. Now, artists say these innovations are reshaping the market and the future of the art sector. From Johannesburg, South Africa, Innocent Samos, Channels Television News.
And finally, on the program, congratulations are in order for former South African President Jacob Zuma's daughter as she becomes the wife to the King of Eswatini, King Mswati III. 21-year-old Nomcebo Zuma is now the king's 16th wife following a traditional ceremony earlier this week. The engagement took place at the Ludzini Royal Village in Lobamba and was witnessed by over 5,000 people. Nomcebo Zuma's engagement to the 56-year-old king was made official at the end of an 8-day reed dance ceremony, and that's an age-long traditional rite of passage for young women and girls held every year. Well, some people suggest the marriage is a political alliance, but Eswatini officials have dismissed this, saying Nomcebo is marrying the king for love. And that's where we end the program for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Layo Olarinde.